Students across West Central Florida are headed back to class in just a couple of days, and the system many of them are walking into is changing faster than almost any in the entire country. Florida schools are opening this year under new leadership. Dr. Henry Mack became Education Commissioner last month. Mack inherits a system in the middle of transformation. According to the Florida Department of Education, nearly half of Florida students, approximately 1.4 million, now learn through some form of school choice. That includes charter, private, scholarship, or homeschool. The department also reports that school grades are up and teacher vacancies are down. But many districts are shrinking. Pinellas County Schools says the district has roughly 45,000 empty seats and is closing and consolidating campuses. School board members in Hillsborough say the district lost more than 7,000 students in a single year. And this week, the Tampa Bay Times reports that 4 Hillsborough charter schools closed their doors. In Sarasota, a district rated A by the state, leaders cut more than 130 teaching jobs to align staffing with enrollment. That according to the Suncoast Searchlight. Vacancies on the campuses of public schools often don't stay empty for very long. Under Florida's expanded Schools of Hope law, charter operators can move into underused campuses. WUSF reports that dozens of Tampa Bay schools have gotten notices from charter operators intent on coming in. And in other news, artificial intelligence is growing in the classroom. The rules governing it are a patchwork, though, left largely to individual districts. So the question that many are asking, is Florida's education system thriving? Is it struggling? Or is it simply transforming? Well, the answer depends on who you ask. We've got our panel here of experts. Jeff, I'd like to start with you. You've been covering education for 20 years.
Well, stop reminding everybody of that, you know?
So what have been the most dramatic changes that you've seen in the last, let's say, 5 years?
Well, 5 years ago, we already had DeSantis in the governor's seat, and we already had been past COVID. But what we didn't have at that point, which we have now, is universal school vouchers. We have an administration in the Attorney General's office and the Department of Education willing to take on the fight for parents and things that it used to not be always a fight of parents against schools as much as it seems.
More of a collaboration.
More of a collaboration, exactly.
Like, yeah.
And so now you have the Attorney General saying, has your school violated your child's religious rights or something? We'll sue them on your behalf. We'll get them. And that's the kind of thing that is just different right now. It's taken parental rights issues on steroids in a lot of ways that we maybe didn't see coming. And
this comes to the point about policy, education policy. Dr. Karanja, you've been studying education policy for years. Is what we're seeing a series of separate changes, or is it one big change with a lot of different symptoms?
Good question. I don't think that this is something that just happened. As someone that has looked at Florida charter school choice in general and education policy in the past 20 years, I can say that the policy that the state of Florida and legislation have pursued, especially when it comes to school choice and public education, has been consistent. Since Governor Bush was in office, every single legislative session has been an effort to make school choice more available, to decrease the number of students that are enrolled in public schools. And so you have particular laws that were passed, bills that were passed that I would say kind of moved it in more substantial ways,
right.
But every single year it has been slow and steady, and then we arrive now where we have universal school choice vouchers, even though they're called scholarships, they are vouchers.
Well, many parents do support them, and that's why they're growing. Dean Duncan, I'd like to ask you, what does it mean? What does this mean for the teachers? How has it changed for the teachers walking into this now?
I think their role has become increasingly complex. Not only are they expected to be wonderful instructors, but they also are facing emerging technologies, changing policies, differing educational environments. So our job is to prepare them to be successful despite those changes, to be adaptable, and to put student success at the forefront of their focus.
Derek, you've been covering education in Sarasota. The question is, are you seeing much of the same in Sarasota, or are there differences between Sarasota, Manatee County, and schools in Tampa Bay, for example?
Yeah, I would say a lot of the same pressures that the panel is talking about are being felt in Sarasota as well. In Sarasota and Manatee, though differently in each school system. Like, for example, Manatee County isn't seeing the enrollment issues that are happening in Sarasota County, and that's partially because of growth in Manatee County and the type of growth. Sarasota County does have has more of an older population, fewer school children, although that seemingly, I always hear about demographics shifting in Sarasota, not becoming as much of a snowbird haven. But I would say that it's still, the demographics there combined with the growth of charter schools has put pressures on budgets, not just in Sarasota and Manatee, but across the state. And it's really a trend, apparently a trend that's happening across a lot of different school districts.